glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Would you open the seventh shlokam is Canto 7, the chapter 11, but open text number 2. Oh yeah, that's okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhavatir Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, the chapter 11, which is the perfect society for social classes. Verse number 2. We will be covering verses from verse number 1 to verse number 11. But we'll pick number 2 because it's easy for everyone to repeat. Sri Yudhishthira Bhagavan Shrotumichhami Drinam Dharmam Sanatanam Varnashrama Achara Yutam Yatpuman Vindate Param. Sri Yudhishthira Uvacha Bhagavan Shrotumichhami Nrinam Dharmam Sanatanam Varnashrama Achara Yutam Yat puman vindate param. Shri Yudhishthira uvacha. Bhagavan shrotumichhami. Drinam dharmam sanatanam. Varnashrama achara yutam. Yat puman vindate param. Those who want to repeat. Sri Yudhishthira uvacha. Bhagavan shrotumichhami. Nirnam dharmam sanatanam. Varnashrama achara yutam. Yat puman vindate param. Sri Yudhishthira uvacha. Bhagavan shrotumichhami. Nirnam dharmam sanatanam. Varnashrama acharyutam. Yat puman vindate param. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. Transliteration. Sri Yudhishthira uvacha. Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired, Bhagavan, O my Lord, Shrotum, to hear, Ichhami, I wish, Drinam, of human society, Dharmam, the occupational duties, Sanatanam, common and eternal for everyone, Varnashrama Achara Yutam, based on the principles of the 4 divisions of society and the 4 divisions of spiritual advancement. Thank you. Yat, from which, Puman, the people in general, Vindate, can enjoy very peacefully, Param, the supreme knowledge, by which one can attain devotional service. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, My dear Lord, I wish to hear from you about the principles of religion by which one can attain the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. I wish to hear about the general occupational duties of human society and the system of social and spiritual advancement known as Varnashrama Dharma. Purport. Sanatana Dharma means devotional service. The word Sanatana refers to that which is eternal, which does not change but continues in all circumstances. We have several times explained what the eternal occupational duty of the living being is. Indeed, it is being explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. The real occupational duty of the living entity is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if one prefers to deviate from this principle, he remains a servant because that is his eternal position. But one serves Maya, the illusory material energy. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, is an attempt to guide human society to serving the personality of Godhead instead of serving the material world with no real profit. Our actual experience is that every man, animal, bird, and beast, indeed every living entity, is engaged in rendering service. Even though one's body or superficial religion may change, every living entity is always engaged in the service of someone. Therefore, the mentality of service is called eternal occupational duty. This eternal occupational duty can be organized through the institution of Varnashrama. in which there are 4 varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Thus, Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired from Narada Muni about the principles of Sanatana Dharma for the benefit of human society. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So actually we see in this chapter itself, this actually previous chapter describes how Sri Narasimha Bhagwan's appearance happens and Prahlada prays and the Narasimha Avataram happens. And Yudhishthira Maharaj inquires actually from Narada Muni. He wants to hear the principles. Why? Because as in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushtrinidatam. First he says, Paritranaya sadhunam dharma samstarpanartaya sambhavani yuge yuge. So every once in a while, Sri Krishna or his incarnations will come to descend and to establish the principles of dharma actually. So in the previous shloka itself, first after he asked Shukadev Goswami, he says, after hearing about the activities and character of Prahlad Maharaj, which are adored and discussed by great personalities, he wanted to know about Narada Muni in a very humble way. And the real aspect is, he wants to know because of these austerities which he has done. He says, Narayana Paravipra Dharmam Guyam Param Viduhu. So, no one better than you knows about this. And actually, as the shloka goes, Narada Muni explains that Yo Vatir Yatmanom Shena Dakshayanam tu dharmataha lokanam swastaye dhyaste tapo badrikashramehe. So when we chanted this shlokam in the start of Bhagavatam class, we always say Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam. So the principles of varnashrama dharma can only be established when dharma is present. And Sanatana dharma, what we call devotional service, is based on dharma. So, when we chant actually Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam, to understand Bhagavatam and other shlokam, one must first meditate on Naranarayana Rishi. That is why when we chant, that is why even Vyasadeva has actually made that mandatory. Not just in Bhagavata Puran, actually all other Puranas when we read, we always say Narayanam Namaskrityam. So who is Naranarayana Rishi? Naranayana Rishi is a partial incarnation which came through the daughter of Daksha Maharaj known as Murti and Dharma. Dharma was the son of Brahma. So for the benefit of all living entities, actually Naranarayana came as an incarnation. And today as we know, what we call Badrikashrama is Badrinath in India. Today they are still present actually meditating upon and doing penance. So in the Bhagavatam it says, Yatra Narayano Devo Narascha Bhagavan Rishi Mruduti Vram Tapo Dirgham Te Pate Loka Bhavano. So there in Badrikashrama, in his incarnation as Naranarayana Rishi, there is great penance from time immemorial for all the benefit of living entities. So as we know, Badrikashrama is placed close to in the Himalayas in Naimisharanya abode. So Naranarayana Rishi actually are present there and meditating. So it so happened that even the Devatas, they were not sure because they were born from Dharma and the wife, his wife. So they were not sure about how powerful these entities are. So naturally, Indra and all these people, they send many people to actually disturb their penance. So nothing actually disturbed the penance. So what Narayana did is, he took a flower and he placed it on his right thigh. And from that which came is the Apsara, which we say Urvashi. Urva in Sanskritam is thigh. So Urvashi, the Apsara, is one who is said. So Narayana Rishi says that if you think that if by sending all celestial damsels to distract me, I can as well produce them and send it to you. So you can see how advanced they are. And that is why it is said that Naranarayana Rishi, we say Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. So study of Bhagavata Puranam is not first you have to meditate upon Naranarayana Rishi, then Saraswati Devi, and then also to Vyasadev. Without understanding this and saying we will learn Bhagavata Puranam, it is like going to a university without qualification. You can learn something, you will get some knowledge, but you will not get the essence. And the purpose of this is actually to have humility to them, because whatever we are reading, whether given by Vyasadev and Sri Krishna and Naranarayana Rishi and Saraswati Devi, we have to be indebted to them. So we cannot, it's like this, today's modern world, we may use material science to do everything, but we cannot create material elements out of thin air. So it is like borrowing something and stealing someone's credit, which is called plagiarism, but which we should not do. That is why every acharya, whether Prabhupada or every other previous acharyas, have always given credit to other devatas. So actually, as I said, the shlokam again in the 11th canto, actually Markandeya Rishi actually prays, and he actually says, Dharmasya daksha duhitari ajanishta murtyam narayano narashi pravaha prasantaha. So, naiskarmya lakshanam uvacha chachara karma yodvaipi chasta rishivarya nishe vitang grihi. So, Naranayana Rishi is very peaceful, and taught by devotional service. We say nishkama karma. Actually, Narada Muni himself has explained in the Bhagavatam that Naishkaryam api achyuta bhavavarjitam na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. The process of transforming normal karma into nishkarmya or transcendental work. So, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that Yat karosi yadasnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam. So what you do as an work is do as an offering unto me. Otherwise that karma is only for fruitive desire and will have karmic reaction. That is why whether we offer patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, whether we offer fruit, whether we offer flower, we should first offer even our work, the result of our work. Even Arjuna was taught by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita that you are fighting only for me. The result is not for you. That the result may be an after effect, but it is not like that. So how does Naranarayana Rishi look? And this is also described in Bhagavata Puranam. In the 12th canto it is described. Instead of the shlokam, I will just explain. So one of them, Nara, has a whitish complexion. Narayana has blackish. He has Chaturbhujam. He has 4 forms. Their eyes resemble the petals of lotus. Chaturbhujo Raurava Valkalambaro. So, Kanja Lochana resembled like petals of blooming lotuses. They wore garments of deer skin and bark and with the sacred thread. And this is the purifying. They look like mendicants with a water pot, with a bamboo staff, with lotus prayer beads, and all purifying Vedas in form of dharba grass. So, these are the actual purifying effects when looking at them. Now we say about we say about Puranam. So as we say, actually in this shlokam, in the same as we go ahead, actually in the seventh text here, it says Dharma Moolam hi Bhagavan Sarva Veda Mayo Hari Smritam Chatad Vidam Rajan Yena Chatma Prasidati. So actually it is said that the essence of all Vedic knowledge, the Supreme Personality, we call it the root of all these principles, is understood to be the evidence. And what it means is this actually. So, in our Sanatana Dharma, we have Vedam, we have Itihasam, we have Puranam. Bhagavata Puranam is one Puranam. There are many other Puranams like this, Narsimha Puranam, Varaha Puranam, Brahmanda Puranam. So, it is said that Smriti, Shruti Smriti Sadachara. So what is Smriti? Smriti is what, Shruti means what you hear. Smriti is what you can understand. The scriptures, they are evidence. So it is said that one should learn the human behavior from Shruti, the Vedas, and from Smriti, the scriptures following Vedic principles. Rupa Goswami also says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Veena Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. See, the purport of becoming, we say, Bhagavata or devotional service is laid down in Shruti and Smriti. So one should follow these quotes by Puranas as one in Bhagavatam or other texts on Pancharatraka Vidhi. If one says one can become, and this is written by Prabhupada in the purport in the seventh text itself, actually in this canto. He says one cannot become pure devotee without following Shruti and Smriti. And Shruti and Smriti without devotional service cannot lead one to perfection. Many people think that without Shruti and Smriti and we are doing some service, we can become perfected and achieve perfection. It may be a path, but without, it is like this. Even in Aksharam or Omkaram, which we chant Om, there is a A, U and So generally, A is considered as Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ma is the Jivatma, and there is a U, which is the joining bond. So similarly, if one says, I will do some principle of devotional service, but without understanding Shruti and Smriti, they cannot be perfected in devotional life. And this is the evidence which is given in this seventh text itself, and also by same thing repeated by Rupa Goswami and in the purport by Srila Prabhupada, that if one must become a Bhagavata or a devotee, one must actually follow the principles of Shruti and Smriti. If one says, I can reject Shruti, Smriti, Puranams and just become devotee like this, then Prabhupada says, one cannot become a devotee like that. It's all combined together. Now let us understand this, that actually speaking, that Naranarayana Rishi, what happened so is Prahlada. We had the Narasimha, we will celebrate tomorrow. But Prahlad Maharaj, actually, after he has become the king and he is established, it happens so that one of the rishi is meditating, and Prahlada doesn't reside in Bhulokam. He resides actually in Patala and other lokams because he is from the Daitya clan. So one of the rishi is pulled actually down to his abode, and understanding some prayaschitta has to be done by mistake, he actually he hears about this sage called Naimisharanya. So there, when he goes to Naimisharanya, Prahlada, the devotee, actually encounters Naranarayana Rishi. The moment he sees Naranarayana Rishi, actually, it so happens that he is first astonished seeing these two wonderful personalities who are dressed in Chaturbhujam, in mendicant form, and Prahlada is actually, what we say, astonished to see who are these people. They look heavenly, they look very pure, ascetic, but they also have a bow in hand. So Prahlada engages actually Naranarayana Rishi in a battle. And finally, in the gist of this, Prahlada also leaves Brahmastra, and then Narayana Rishi leaves actually the Pashupati Astra, and then finally this is stopped. Then Prahlada actually eventually surrenders. He understands his folly, that he prays to Vishnu from within and says, I need some guidance from this. So when he prays, then he actually understands that this is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see that Prahlada also actually surrenders, and then his knowledge and some aspect of, doesn't matter Prahlada is a pure devotee, but it is for us to learn from this that the surrender to Naranarayana Rishi to understand these principles are very important actually. And also in terms of the Puranam, there is a different aspect actually. every Puranam as explained by Vyasadeva, there are 5 aspects which are explained in Puranams. So there is creation, which is Srishti, there is anti-creation, which is Pratishrishti, dynasty Vamsa, Manvantara, which is a yuga, or what we say, the say Kali Yuga and other Manvantras which come, and Vamsacharana, the genealogy. All of these things are explained in Puranams. That's why Vyasadeva made 18 Puranams. We have Agni Puranam, Narayana Puranam, Padma Puranam, Garuda Puran, Kurma Puran. Every Puranam has its significance, actually speaking. So, talking about Prahlada, it so happens that, as we know that Sri Narasimhadev appeared on behest of Prahlad. But when Prahlad was actually being harmed by Hiranyakashipu, his father, they tried to harm Prahlad in many different ways. And actually they took Prahlad and his servants, dropped him in the ocean. So when he dropped in the ocean, actually Prahlad was drowning. And then naturally Varuna Dev, the ocean, came and helped him. So Prahlada at that time, we can see how the devotional surrender is there in Prahlada. That he prays actually that all these Varuna Dev, you are there in the ocean, and whenever the difficulty is there, Brahma, Indra and all other people go to the Shirasagara and pray to you to annihilate these asuras and demons. But what about me as a young child who has no qualification? How will I ever come? So in that thought, actually in the Narasimha Puranam, it is said that Prahlada thinks about this and he actually faints. Then all of a sudden, actually, Prahlada actually, Bhagavan comes in his Chaturbhujam, because when Prahlada actually prayed, he is actually praying to Chaturbhuja form of Sri Krishna. So that is how initially it is what he is chanting. Okay. And then Prahlada suddenly opened his eyes and he looked at, oh, God is in front of me. Then he says, he sees the beautiful eyes, the lotus-like smile. And all of a sudden, and he sees the 4 hands of Vishnu in this form. And he immediately kind of faints. Prahlada is so happy to see in this tired state. He is actually happy and he sleeps. Bhagavan takes Prahlada in his lap. In the Narasimha Purana it is said, I will just only explain in gist. He actually caresses Bhagavan like a child. Actually for a little while, when Prahlada again opens his eyes, so he is actually caressing Bhagavan and taking care of him. And then in this moment of exchange, this is before Narasimha Bhagavan appears. This is in his form in the ocean when he comes. And he actually prays, this is described in the Narasimha Purana. In this exchange of loving, see, for the Bhagavata and the Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, there is always loving exchange. It is eternal. It is not, for us also it is there. Only thing is we cannot understand or associate with it, because our mind is distracted by many things. Like we say, sometimes some people may come and we may not realize, or we are distracted in other things. But someone who is devoted to Sri Krishna and always constantly thinking, for him, that's why when Prahlada, Hiranyakashipu asks, where is your Bhagavan? Prahlada is seeing Sri Krishna in everything, everywhere. It is not like only at that time he saw. So he actually prays, Prahlada prays actually to Bhagavan in this place, that Praho, he say, actually I just read the first 2 shlokams. It is very nice actually. It's actually Prahado tha bravid bhimam deva janman tvare dveshi dasatvaham bhuyasam garutmaniva bhaktiman. Prahlada prays actually, I wish during all my births I will be like your slave, like Garuda, with exclusive devotion. This is the prayer with actually Prahlada prays to Vishnu when he is in his lap and is sleeping. Actually, this is the prayer. So we should not think that every devotional exchange of a devotee and Sri Krishna is different in whichever relationship they have. But Prahalaja's actually bhavam of worshipping Sri Krishna, or we say Narasimha Bhagwan, is in dasatvam, is to be only servant. It is like a child. Narasimha Bhagwan is his father, and he is only the servant. This is the understanding. Now it so happens that actually that after this instance only, as described in the Narasimha Puranam, that Prahlada gets up in the morning and he goes back to Hiranyakashipu's palace. And then when Hiranyakashipu sees, that's when he gets completely unfazed. And that is when Sri Narasimhadev appears. And that we can describe later. So there are many aspects of why we should actually surrender to Narayana Rishi, pray to him before. Because through this knowledge, and we can see even Prahlada is actually surrendered. So, to describe the glories of Sri Narasimha Bhagavan, there are many mantrams and shlokams which are written. So, one of the things which you all must have seen is there is Mantra Raja Pada Stotram, which is given by Lord Shiva. Actually, it describes, so, Vritot Fulla Vishalaksham Vipakshakshaya Dikshitam Ninadatrasta Vishwandam Vishnumugram Namamyaham. So he says, I pray down to this Vishnu Rupam of frightening form. Generally, people chant this in a short form. I have told this many times. They chant Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvato Mukham Narsimham Bhishanam Badram Mrityum Mrityum Namamyam. Actually, the what they have done is they have taken the second last word of every shlokam of Mantra Raja Pada Stotram. So it says Vritot Fulla Vishalaksham Vipakshakshe Dikshitam Ninadastra Vishwanam Vishnu Mugram Namamyam. So Vishnu Mahamyam is just like saying I'm surrendering, I'm offering obeisances. So Ugram Viram. So the next slokam comes is Sarvaraitam Datam Praptam Sabalogam Sudedisam Nakhagri Shakali Chakre Yastam Viram. So Ugram Viram Mahavishnum. So they have just short formed like this. Actually. So the prayer is by Lord Shiva, who explains this actually whole Mantra Raja Pada Stotram. He says, I bow down to Narasimha Bhagavan, who tore like shreds to Hiranyakashipu, right, with his Nakhagli Shakali Chakre. So it is called Sundara Simham. Lion is beautiful, but Narasimha Bhagavan is like a golden lion. That is a beautiful as described actually in this slokam. So Pada Avashta Dhapa Padam Patala Murda Dishtitam Bhuja Pravishtan Dishtanam Vishnu Mugram Namamyaham. So he actually prays, you have come before as Vamana, you have taken Trivikrama size, and now you have actually come down as Narasimha to protect your devotee. Actually at that time I was explaining, because the true Bhagavata sees Bhagavan Sri Krishna in everything. Prahlada already had realization, but in every atom, every moment, he actually saw Bhagavan present in everything, and not as just an inanimate object, in his actual swarupam. We may actually think about just an object or energy, we say Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattvam, but realization of Prahlada is he is seeing as Bhagavan in every single thing, even inside Hiranyakashipu. Actually, that is how it is there. So that is the realization which Prahlad has. Of course, Hiranyakashipu is only come because of a curse. We tend to demoniate Hiranyakashipu, but that is a role Jaya and Vijaya have taken actually to assist Hiranyakashipu, Narasimhadev in coming. Actually, that is his job. So you cannot understand. You can understand the pain the same way Prahlada is feeling pain. In that Leela, Jaya and Vijaya had to come. As we know that the pain Jaya and Vijaya felt when they said we have to be 100 births away from you. So imagine, they said no, we will take the punishment of 3 births. See, that is called Anukulya Sankalpasya. The true Bhagavata actually does what Sri Krishna wants. Generally what we will say is, no, I will do what I want. What Jaya and Vijaya did is what actually Bhagavan wanted. That you will become demon for me, in spite of the pain. Because naturally, To be Dwarapalaka of in Vaikuntha Loka is not, they are Nitya Suri, they are Nitya Siddhas. They are not ordinary people. We are ordinary. They are eternally present. So eternally being made to come here, imagine the pain. If Prahlada is feeling the pain, Jaya Vijaya also have that. But to execute Sri Krishna's will, they have taken this position actually. That is how it is there. So, same thing that it is said, Jyotim smarkendu nakshatra jwalanadi anukrama jwalanti tejasa yasa tvam jalantim namamyaham. All the different grahas which are present, you know, whether we say which is powered by Surya, Chandra, Agni. So Sri Shiva prays that all of them are actually emanating from you. As we say, Chaksho Suryo Ajayataha. So we can see that this is a beautiful prayer which Shiva has described about the essence of Narasimha Bhagavan, how his appearance is, what his looks is, what is the purpose. Even Prahlad also has prayed actually. There is a Narasimha Kavacham which many people must have read before. So he says that Garjantam, Garjayantam, Nijapaja Putalam, Spotayantam Hatantam, Deeptantam, Tapayantam, Divubhijititam, Shepayantam, Shipantam, Krandantam, Roshayantam, Dishi Dishi Satatam, Samharantam, Harantam, Vikshantam, Purnayantam, Karanaka Sikthatair, Divya Simham Namami. So the meaning of this slokam is actually Lord Narasimha roars loudly and the roar causes others to have fear. Fear only for those who are not following the principles of Sanatana Dharma. As said in this purport, Sanatana Dharma is devotional service, is doing kainkaryam. Kainkaryam means being servitor to something. Actually, he tears the demons. He is always out to remove these demoniac forces. That is why Prahlada prays, actually speaking. He prays to Narasimha Bhagavan. That is why in the Narasimha Purana it is such a wonderful prayer which Prahlada prays even before Narasimhadev's appearance. My desire is I should only be slave like your Garuda. And that is what we should also be absolutely praying. That our position is always servitor. Nishkama karma, which means doing without expectation, actually. Obviously, there are many, the glories of Sri Narasimha Bhagavan can be explained in detail. There are wonderful also temples, as we know, that Nava Narasimha in Ahoilam is present. And there is Bhargava Narasimha, there is Karanja Narasimha, there are 9 forms. So, some of the people who go to present there also, that Bhargava Narasimha is kind of presenting Surya Devata, Karanja Narasimha is presenting moon, Jwala Narasimha is Mars. Generally, Mars is a deity which we associate. Actually, every incarnation of Bhagavan comes in a particular associated with Tithi, Nakshatra and planet. And how it is actually speaking is to give benefit. We may think, not we are born at our desire or our karma. Actually, Sri Krishna comes at he is born in Ashtami. Narasimha Bhagavan is born in Chaturdashi. Ram Nami is Navami. And they are all coming at a particular Lagna, Tithi, astrology. Why? Because to actually, the Tithis and Nakshatra we know, moon has 27 wives, as we know, right? So to give benefit to each one of them, Bhagavan will make sure that he comes in that particular time. That is how it is. We are born according to our karma. We don't have the luxury that our date of birth or whatever you say, whether it is our English calendar, whichever we say, we are determined by our karma to be born there. But Bhagavan decides to give benefit. So the Devatas are not considered ordinary people. They are actually happy and welcoming. So similarly, Krodha Narasimha is representing Rahu Devata to worship. Pavana Narasimha is Mercury, Buddha. Ahoila Ugra Narasimha is Jupiter or Guru. Malola Narasimha is Venus. Yogananda Narasimha is Shani. And Chhatravada Narasimha is Ketu. These are the main 7 planets which are there. So that's why worshipping Sri Narasimha Bhagavan also protects from all these different. Sometimes many people have this misconception that not saying we have to pray directly to Adi Devata, but disrespect to them is not good. Again, I have told this many times, because when he takes incarnation, he is making sure that there are certain remedies required. So by praying to Narasimha Bhagwan or other our Vishnu Tattvas, you also get benefit and protection actually. Another thing, I know the classes, I can keep talking about Narasimha Bhagwan's glories and slokams. I will only like to say there are many temples of Narasimha Bhagwan in India. There is a wonderful temple and it's called Mangalagiri in Andhra Pradesh. Some people must have known it actually. It is very beautiful and it is in top of a hill. So actually the way it works is Panakam is very dear to Narasimha Dev. So generally Panakam is a drink made of jaggery, little bit of lime, elaichi and whatever we say. So ginger. So generally in that temple they offer Panakam to Bhagwan Narasimha, and the deity is in the form of mouth. And it so happens that only when we offer, the priest offers, half the pot can only go into the deity's mouth, into the hill, and the other half is given as prasadam. Only half it will take always when they offer. And the interesting thing is there is no ants. No matter all this jaggery, there is no ants at all there. So this is one of the beautiful temples of Sri Narasimha Bhagwan. There are many temples, even in South India. There is Solingaru temple where Narasimha Bhagwan is doing tapasya on top of a hill actually. So people may question why, because Narasimha Bhagwan, after his incarnation too, he has visited these different places, and many of the Bhagavatas and sages through yugas have meditated upon him. And like Markandeya Rishi has done, even in Mangalagiri, Narasimha is there. There are many other places. Yadagiri Gudda is another temple in Andhra Pradesh. So there are wonderful temples which are present across India. And all of these places, these Puranic temples, are because many Bhagavatas and sages have meditated upon seeing him. And he has appeared either in his Swayambhu form. Swayambhu means appearing as it is, by devotion and being present there. So say Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. As I said, I can't read the whole Narasimha Puranam. It is, and I can speak more, but I understand there's prasadam for people, so we will cut for that. Otherwise, people will attention will go away. So we'll say Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai. Tomorrow is the pastime, so hopefully we will hear more. And if any comments or questions, people can pass or ask. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the very nice class, Vishnu Chuan Prabhu. So nice to hear about the glories of Lord Nrsingadev, especially before Nrsinga Chaturdasi. I was thinking, because you obviously you read so much and you've taken time to really study the Shastras, to ask, what is your favorite pastime of Lord Nrsingadev?
I can't, you can't put me on the spot like this.
One of your favorites.
It's, Narasimha Dev has many pastimes, but I have to say this instance of Bhagwan coming in this ocean and fondling, this is, as I explained in this thing where Sri Krishna is himself, but in that when Prahlada is coming out of the ocean and he's lying in the lap, Bhagwan Sri Krishna taking and fondling Prahlada is a very dear aspect. Because that is a Vatsalyam effect. See, we say we worship in Dasyam, Sakhyam, Vatsalyam. Vatsalyam, we say we want Sri Krishna as a child. But actually, the real effect is to have Bhagwan as one's father is not very easy. You will say father in heaven, but to get personal affection is very different. It doesn't mean we cannot get it. And it has to come naturally. He is, of course, he says in Bhagavad Gita, as Prabhuji says, Aham bija prajapitaha. So that's a very personal, I can say, every pastime is unique. Maybe just in the aspect of this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Any other questions or comments from anybody?
it. I just need the definition of sanat, sanatana dharma.
Sanatana Dharma. Yes.
Sanata.
Dharma. You can open the. No, it's in the text. Yeah, there. Yeah. When I say means, actually, Sanatana Dharma is eternal. It is attributed. Sanatana means an aspect of Sanatana Dharma means doing devotional service. It's an action. Because without action, there is no effect. Yeah, exactly. You have to do something in life, just like you breathe. So you can say Sanatana Dharma devotional service is like breathing. It's an essential part.
So you need that
Yes.
in order to
Advance.
advance. I just wanted to make sure. And dharma means religion, correct?
Correct.
And to do something religiously.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure, because I
Correct.
was having a conversation yesterday with someone, so I just wanted. And then this God is amazing. So yes, thank you.
When Srila Prabhupada describes Sanatana Dharma, he really emphasizes that it's our eternal constitutional position. That religion, the word religion, we can kind of change our religion. I can, be a Christian, and then I can decide, actually, you know what, I want to become a Muslim, or actually, no, I want to become a Hare Krishna, or I want to, we can change our religion. That's something we can adjust and change, but our Sanatana Dharma is our constitutional position. It's our being, who we are, is a servant of God. Like in the purport, there's the verse, Jiver Swarup Hoy Nityera Krishna Das. And it's referring to our nature is that we are servants of God. And Srila Prabhupada says that, I don't remember which class it is, but he says specifically that because we are part and parcel of the Lord, because we are part of the Lord, our natural position, our natural inclination is to serve the Lord. And so that's connected to our Sanatana Dharma like that. It's our eternal constitutional position. It never changes. We can think we're changing so many things externally. We can try to approach God in different ways. But at the core of all of that is that we are eternally part and parcel of the Lord, and therefore we are the Lord's servant. And that's who we are at the core of our being. Well, we can change our religion in a sense that we can say, I want to be a Hare Krishna, I want to be a Muslim, the title. But who we are, that doesn't change.
Correct. Yes.
Here, microphone.
I was wondering if you could share with us where we could find these prayers.
Which one? Which one?
You mentioned Shiva praying and Prahlad praying.
Yes.
And I was curious if you'd made notes and you could share
yeah,
with us where we could find those prayers. And if I'm correct, you also mentioned Prabhupada describing what we're reading from in the 7th verse.
Yeah, this
Canto
is,
7,
this is
11.7.
Canto 7, chapter 11 in the Veda base. I mean, since you have the phone, it is in the Canto 7, chapter 11.
No, yeah, I found that. But you also spoke of 7:11, verse 7. You're talking about Prabhupada describing a little bit more in text 7.
Yeah, in text 7, he describes what is Smriti and Shruti, on
Right.
what is Pancharatrika Vidhi and what we are. Just go to...
Thank you. And where can we find the Shiva and Prahlad prayers?
that is, it's called Mantra Raja Pada Stotram. You can just search online. Everything is there online. Mantra Raja Pada Stotram. Mantra Raja, mantra means mantra. Raja means the king of mantras. And this is praising Narsimha Bhagwan, actually.
Lord Shiva's prayers
To
Lord,
Narsimha
to Lord
Bhagwan.
Nrsingadev.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, this is Bhagavatam. Yep.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. Chapter 11.
We can help you pull it up after class if you need help
Yep.
finding it. Any one of us can help you. Thank you.
The other one, the prayers by Prahlad, is Narsimha Kavacham. You can search online, it's all there.
Yeah.
Prahlada prays. There are many prayers by Prahlada. I mean, there are many prayers to Narsimha Dev. Mantra Raja Padastotram is one of them. Prahlada prays is Narsimha Kavacham. So you can look up online. It is there actually. Today, thanks to people uploading many things, people can read them actually. Yes. So there's a lot of knowledge. No, nothing. It is my duty just to share. The credit goes to whoever has actually, and Prahlada and others people who have actually experienced Narasimhadev in person. So, okay. Any other things or? Okay. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jai.